If you've ever reacted in a way that didn't feel like you, this video will help you understand why. I want to share a client story that shows how trauma, sensitivity, and even the environment can shape emotional reactions and how healing can bring calm back. Over the years, one of the things that I've come to understand is the importance of listening, not just to the words people use, but also to the behaviours that they demonstrate. Both can give us valuable insight into what's going on beneath the surface. I want to share this story because it helps explain why some people experience intense emotional reactions, volatility or anger outbursts that feel out of proportion to what's happening, and why the person may feel as though they have no control over it. It also shows how deep healing can radically change things, allowing someone to move into a much calmer space and regain control of their emotions. The client I'm going to talk about today, who I'll call Jade, was divorced, living with her new partner, and had a son who was around 12 years old. She came to me experiencing volatile emotional behaviour. She described feeling suddenly overwhelmed by her emotions, leading to angry outbursts she struggled to control. These caused upset within the household and were followed by feelings of blame, shame, guilt, and regret. At her first appointment, Jade shared two significant traumas. The first was a long-term abusive marriage with someone who displayed strong narcissistic behaviours. Although she was now divorced, there was ongoing contact due to sharing a child. It was clear that the marriage had been deeply traumatic for both Jade and her son. The second trauma was the loss of a pregnancy conceived with her current partner, which carried deep layers of grief, guilt, shame, and self-blame. Jade was clearly on edge and holding everything together with great effort. Although I reassured her that she was safe and could cry if she needed to, the way she presented suggested symptoms consistent with PTSD. To me, however, her reactions made complete sense given what she'd experienced. In Jade's first session, the focus was on clearing the energetic imprints of the trauma related to her marriage, divorce, and the loss of her baby. As these energies were cleared, it became apparent that there was a significant amount of anger beneath the trauma. And beneath that lay deep grief and guilt. There were also negative entities attached to her energy system. These can attach when trauma damages the energy field, either in the current life or in other lifetimes, and that creates vulnerability within the energy. This makes it much easier for them to attach, and once they're attached, they feed off low vibration emotions and can influence how a person reacts and behaves. If they aren't cleared energetically, they can lie dormant until triggered, and then they leave the person feeling confused by reactions that don't feel like their own. When I clear negative entities and when I teach this work, I ensure that they're fully detached from the energy, cocooned in pure love and pure light, and returned to true source so that no further harm can occur, and so that they too can have healing and then be able to progress on their own journey. As healing continued, past life imprints emerged that needed clearing. Many involved Jade being on the receiving end of different forms of abuse. Some of these lives were shared with her ex-husband, others involved different people. The beliefs formed in those lives, however, left her feeling powerless for a long time, until the anger she'd been suppressing finally gave her the strength to leave. These patterns also created a sense of being under constant threat and the need to stay in a heightened state of awareness. When we clear trauma held in past lives, it stops those energies from continuing to affect the present experience. When Jade returned for her second session, she shared something that really stood out. Her son had told her that she was different in a good way. Jade also said she felt more in control of her emotions, less reactive and calmer for longer periods of time, and I could see that she looked more relaxed and less tired. There's clearly been a fundamental shift. In the second session, deeper patterns emerged around Jade's relationship with her parents, particularly her father. Past life themes involving abuse and authority figures surfaced again, mirroring her current experiences. Past lives involving her current partner also came through, explaining the depth of their bond despite a significant age difference. There were lifetimes where he'd been her son, her twin, and her sibling, experiences that explained their emotional familiarity, closeness, and protectiveness. At the next visit, Jade brought her son with her. He's highly sensitive and said that he felt as though something was following him around the house. Although Jade was much calmer overall, she was experiencing occasional sudden angry meltdowns still that didn't feel like her. At this point, it became clear that the environment itself was contributing to the situation. Highly sensitive people can be deeply affected by environments holding low vibration energy. As I assessed the property and land energetically, it became clear there was an open portal, distorted ley lines, and very dense energetic imprints within the land. The house had been built on ancient sacrificial land that had never been cleared, which can significantly amplify emotions such as anger, anxiety, or panic in sensitive people. Jade's son also had energetic attachments linked to early childhood trauma and triggered past life experiences that needed to be cleared. So during the session, the portal was closed and removed. The land and ley lines were cleared, and the past life trauma connected to the sacrificial site was cleared as well. Both Jade and her son felt noticeably calmer by the end of the session. A couple of weeks later, I checked in with Jade. She told me the house felt calm, she felt calm, her son was much more settled, the angry meltdowns had stopped, communication within the family had improved, and her relationship with her partner felt easier and more supportive again. These 3 treatments brought the family back into balance, emotionally, mentally, and at a soul level. Anger is a signal. It isn't something to suppress or judge. It's something to listen to. Traumas held in the body and energy system, often far more deeply than we realise. Highly sensitive people experience this in a heightened way. And the environment matters far more than we're taught. When unresolved trauma, past life imprints, energetic attachments, and environmental stress are present, behaviour can appear intense, confusing, or out of character. When these layers are addressed, calm returns naturally.